Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us. And welcome to what is the first in our showcase series of webinars, where we'll be showcasing Oasys, LS-DYNA, and our consulting services, and how they can be applied to a range of industries and applications. Today, we're going to be talking about electric vehicle design and development. And so, firstly, just to introduce myself, I'm Joe. I've been working it out for almost 10 years, which sounds bizarre, but it's true. I've got a technical background, including an engineering PhD, and for the first 7 years of my career at Arup, I've been using LS-DYNA on consulting projects to support our clients in a wide range of different industries. And then about 3 years ago, I made the switch to a more commercial role, and now it's my job, and indeed my privilege, to help our new and existing Oasys and LS-DYNA customers to get the very most out of the software. So I'm very much looking forward to telling you all about what LS-DYNA can do, and here's the format. To clarify, this isn't going to be a particularly technical webinar, so if you do have any questions, do feel free to ask them at the end, or to reach out to us and we can have those discussions with you offline. So I'm going to go through and tell you a little bit about Arup and Oasys, and then talk to you about our relationship with LS-DYNA, and then we'll discuss the various ways in which our services and tools can help you in your CAE journey. There will be a focus, obviously on the automotive industry in general, but there'll be plenty of reference to specifically to electric vehicle and battery design. So firstly then, just jumping straight in, who or what is Arup? And you might know Arup is a global professional services firm with a very broad offering. We have a particularly strong reputation in the built environment, and I've included a few examples of that in this slide, although I've chosen examples where they relate to the automotive industry. But we do also have a very strong presence in the automotive industry itself, providing both consulting services and software tools to help our automotive clients, customers, and collaborators to bring their automotive designs to market. One such example is the recent work we did for LEVC, the London Electric Vehicle Company, and we're going to talk in a little bit more detail about that later. So that's Arup, but what about Oasys? So Oasys is the software house of Arup. And Arup began developing its own software more than 40 years ago in response to our evolving challenges. I'm not sure if this is exactly how it happened, but I like to think of it that we developed these tools, to help ourselves in our own workflows. And I imagine that at some point along the journey, a client or a customer or a collaborator was looking over our shoulders and thought, oh, that looks handy. Could I have access to that? Could I have a go at that? And that's how it evolved sort of naturally, essentially. And there are lots of different Oasys tools that we develop and sell within Arup. And today we're going to be focusing very much on the LS-DYNA environment. And I'm going to talk to you a bit more about that as we progress through. So that's Arup and Oasys as the organizations. But then when it comes to LS-DYNA, I think there are three main things that we do with it. And the first is consulting. We picked up LS-DYNA as a tool to support our consulting business about 30 years ago when we were asked to design a nuclear waste container against impact from a train. And the physical test they did for that was every bit as dramatic as it sounds. Today, we use LS-DYNA to support our consulting projects in a very wide range of applications, and including and especially the automotive industry. And then the second thing we do, which I think some of you will know, is that we supply LS-DYNA to a range of global clients, including providing training and support. LS-DYNA is a very powerful tool, but as such, it requires quite a comprehensive support package to really help people get the most out of it, and that's what we provide. And then finally, we also develop our own software to support the use of LS-DYNA. We have a comprehensive industry-leading pre- and post-processing package of tools which have been exclusively designed for LS-DYNA and which fully support all features and all keywords. So taking the first of those three things that we use LS-DYNA for, consulting. And here on this slide are a couple of examples of some recent projects that we've done for some of our clients which are specific to analyzing batteries and how they behave, both structurally in terms of the casing and outer like protective shells, and also, as you can see, it's capable of doing some thermal analyses and some CFD as well. So at its sort of heart, and originally LS-DYNA was and still is a non-linear structural time explicit finite element solver code, and it's very, very good at dealing with highly non-linear or transient problems. So situations where plastic deformation and yielding is happening, for example, in a structural system, which is why it's so very good at dealing with crash and safety cases in the automotive industry. But it's also got some multiphysics capabilities, and that's what we're demonstrating here with some of these other types of analyses, the thermal and coolant flow optimization that we've done. So I'm not going to read through all of those, but hopefully this is giving you a good idea of some of the really clever things that LS-DYNA can do, and some of the things that we've done on our consulting projects. So following on from those examples, I've got another really good, I think, and recent example of where we've used Oasys and LS-DYNA ourselves on a consulting project. And this is the work that we did for LEVC, which I made reference to earlier. And LEVC stands for London Electric Vehicle Company. LEVC are the company behind the latest iteration of the iconic London black cab, the TX5. It's a plug-in hybrid vehicle which honours the same iconic design of its predecessors. And the vehicle has been designed against the latest standards for crashworthiness and occupant as well as pedestrian safety. And LEVC engaged us at Arup to perform all of their CAE. And so as well as crash and safety, for which the explicit solver in LS-DYNA is expertly positioned to support, we also use the implicit solver in LS-DYNA for the linear analyses, such as those to support NVH design, and NVH stands for noise, vibration, and harshness. And there are other linear analyses that we can do with LS-DYNA too. And the advantage here was that we had one consistent solver and one vehicle model, rather than having to switch between codes, which made our workflow much more efficient. And this is just a little shout out for the implicit solver in DYNA. If you'd like to do in LS-DYNA, if you'd like to do more with the implicit solver, then do reach out to us or check out the resources that we've got available, including webinars and tutorials and some documents and training courses. So that, I think, covers some of the consulting that we do with LS-DYNA, but then the other thing we do with it is that we distribute it and we support its use. And so, as I've explained before, LS-DYNA is a very capable tool, and therefore it's something that does require quite a bit of support. And these are some of the things that we offer as part of our support package. So we can help you get integrated, get the software integrated with your IT systems, and whether that's on your own premises or in the cloud. And we've got lots of connections with relevant cloud suppliers and can help you get set up on the cloud if that's your preferred route. We've got lots of training courses available, and those training courses are all free of charge. And you and your staff and your team members can sign up to those once you're customers of ours at no extra charge at all. And then we have a very comprehensive technical support package where essentially you can dial in or email in to our DYNA support team and receive nice and quick and relevant and expert advice to help you upskill, debug, all the sorts of things that you might have troubles with. And another kind of really neat thing that we can try to help you with is customization. So we can do that within our own software support packages, where we can help you to develop your own tools, and for example automation tools, scripts and things like that help you to customize the the software according to your own workflow and your own teams and the analyses that you need to perform. So that covers consulting and distributing and supporting. And then I think the third thing that we do with LS-DYNA is that we develop our own tools to support its use. And just to clarify, I don't mean that we develop LS-DYNA itself, although those of you who are familiar with the code might know that there are some keywords which have Arup in the title. By keywords, I mean features in LS-DYNA. And there are a few that have Arup in the title because they have been developed by some of our engineers. So we have done a little bit of development for LS-DYNA itself. But what I'm talking about is that we have developed our own suite of pre and post processing tools for LS-DYNA. And I think the USP, one of the unique selling points of our tools, is that they've been developed exclusively for LS-DYNA. And so they are very highly compatible. What I mean by that is that every single feature that you can call upon on LS-DYNA, you can call through the Oasys suite. We support every single keyword that LS-DYNA has within its toolbox. And so this is just sort of demonstrating the workflow. So we've got primer at the beginning of your workflow where you build and develop your models. One really handy feature in primer is the checking tool, for example, where you can just press one button and find out whether your model is going to run in Dyna or not, and if not, what we need to do to fix it. Then from there, you go into LS-DYNA itself, where you submit your model, and LS-DYNA will do the analysis for you. And then coming out of LS-DYNA, we've got D3plot, which helps us to visualize the results. So we can plot some animations, see a car crashing into a post, for example, and plot the contour plots and the results. And then THIS, so that kind of stands for time history. So it's a really handy tool for plotting out some of the graphs, energy plots, and so on, for analyzing those. And then finally we have Reporter, which is a tool for automatically producing reports. And again, it's a super handy tool because you can set up a template of your own, or it's got lots of templates already built in, which support lots of the load cases that we have to think about in the world of automotive engineering. And it's a way of just automatically spitting out PDFs or PowerPoints or Word documents of your results. And this slide is really just showing you the same thing, but just in a little bit more detail, and I'll just walk you through them again. So primer, you can see there we've got a model in there that we are building and preparing, and we've got lots of tools inbuilt in there which has been specifically developed for some of the things we have to do in the world of automotive CAE. So positioning dummies, for example, positioning seat belts, setting up connections like adhesives and bolts and things like that. We can do that all nice and efficiently with Primer. The other thing that's built into Primer is a scripting tool, scripting functionality. So you can automate lots of your tasks using that. Then D3plot, again, we're in D3plot, what we're doing here is looking at the results. We're visualizing what's happening. So, one of the first things we might do is plot the animation so we can see if we've got any unexpected behavior, for example. We can see, what's happening in this analysis. And then, you can go through and plot the contour plots for all the key results that you need to check out. And then that's what I mean about THIS being a time history plot. So we can analyze the graphs, we can do some clever maths with it to try and process out the key things that we need to from there, for example, head injury criteria, that sort of thing, or like an acceleration time plot for a particular part of the dummy or a particular part of the structure of the vehicle. And then, as I said to you before, Reporter is this really neat, handy, useful tool for generating automatically generating reports or sort of sections of reports or things that you would build into reports. So finally, on this little shout out to our own tools that we've developed, we recently included something called D3 Plot Viewer into our suite of Oasys tools. Now, this is a tool which enables you to share the results of your analyses with non-Oasys users and non-LS-DYNA users, which is, again, a very useful thing to be able to do, and it can really help speed up your communication of these analyses. So you don't even necessarily need to produce a report at every stage. You can share your results. You can share a D3 Plot Viewer link. It's a web-based application, and you can share it with whoever you want to on your team. So you can share it to engineering leadership, for example, for a quick review. You can communicate it to the CAD team so that they can, feed back and make any required changes to the design. And you can feed it back to your component suppliers, for example, and say, look, this is how the seatbelt or the airbag or something is behaving, and ask for their help and advice on setting up any changes that might be required in the model. So this is a really neat and useful and newish tool that lots of people are getting lots of use out of right now. So I hope I've been able to demonstrate to you some of the really key things that we do with LS-DYNA and how useful they can be in the automotive industry. Before I finish, I just wanted to go through this sort of CAE journey that you might be on. So I was asked to target this webinar. We hope it will be relevant to a wide audience, but there are quite a few at the moment startups, EV startups popping up. And if that's you, and if you're listening, then I think here are some really good ways that we can support you in your journey from concept all the way through to scaling up your operations. And again, split out into those three different things that I think we do. So I think that we provide expert CAE services. We can help you grow your in-house CAE. So it's not necessarily that you would just want to outsource it all to us, but you can outsource some of it to us at the beginning, and then we can help you bring it in-house. And we're able to help you at the system and component level, and at the the full vehicle level. And another thing that we can do that I haven't talked a lot about yet is optimization. LS-DYNA is great for that. And there's a sort of inbuilt but standalone tool called LS-Opt, which again there's lots of resources for on our website for learning about. And then in terms of perhaps then bringing it in-house, we can distribute and sell to you LS-DYNA and then help you use it yourself. We can help you develop your own methods for using it. We can transfer our knowledge over to you and give you guidance documents on, for example, running models in implicit. We can help you automate everything. We've got some really good examples of where we've done that for clients who have genuinely really appreciated that. And I think that what we are able to provide is adaptable and agile support all the way through your kind of journey from concept up to scale up. And then in terms of our own tools that we sell, the tools that we have developed, the Oasys suite, we think, as I said before, it's got a comprehensive feature support. Every single feature in LS-DYNA is supported by the Oasys suite. And I've mentioned this before, the model checking and debugging tools. Just from my own personal experience as an engineer, I've found it so incredibly handy to be able to just press that one button and 5 seconds later have a list of all the reasons that my model won't run in Dyna, but then a list of all the fixes that it's suggesting with brief explanations as to why, and it can make those fixes for you automatically. And again, I've mentioned this before, but there's lots of tools in the Oasys suite for automation and making your workflow nice and efficient. And then just generally, we with Oasys, we think that we are, helping to make something that is genuinely quite complex into something that's just I wouldn't necessarily call it easy, but it's efficient and it's well supported, well documented, and yeah, we can help you with it on every step of the way. So I've very nearly come to the end of what I wanted to say about LS-DYNA in the automotive and especially the electric vehicle industry. And I just wanted to really hammer home this point. These are the three really key things that we can do with it. So just to summarize, then, I think that our consulting business is expert, second to none. And please do reach out to us if you'd like to engage us as consultants, because we can help you. We can help you develop your LS-DYNA models and run them, and help you to develop your designs. And then we can help you bring it in-house too. We can give to you our own tools and our own knowledge and our support and our training, and help upskill your own teams so that you can do it yourself in-house. And you know, we can kind of take you along on that journey every step of the way. And then, you know, our own tools that we have developed come highly recommended, not just by us, but by our clients, that they are, you know, effective and efficient tools for helping you to get the most out of your LS-DYNA. So thank you very much again for joining us today and for listening. I'm going to stick around to try and answer any questions that you might have. But this is just to shout out that you've there's lots of channels where you can contact us, depending on your location and your region. And if your region isn't represented there, then that's fine. Please do feel free to get in touch with whichever one you deem most, you know, appropriate, closest to you. Maybe the UK one as a bit of a headquarters for us. And then you can check out our website, and do go and have a look at our LinkedIn and YouTube pages as well. We've got lots of really handy webinars on YouTube that will yeah, help go through some of the key things that we can do with DYNA. So thanks again, and I look forward to receiving any questions. So we have had a question about the shell. So I'm going to answer that. You might have seen on one of the slides, one of the applications is called the shell. I didn't actually mention it while I was going through. So it's the shell is one of the applications as part of the Oasys suite that kind of ties everything together. It's kind of like the home app, if you like, that from which you can call a primer session up, or D3plot, THIS, and reporter, and you can submit your LS-DYNA models from the shell. And so that sort of reminds me and leads me on to talking a little bit about integration. So again, something I didn't mention there is that we've got these, you know, the sort of separate tools for the different parts of the workflow, but they are indeed very well integrated in that you can open up kind of D3plot and primer, for example, in the same session. So which is really handy. So you can have a look at, you know, a particular component that might, for example, have failed some kind of criteria that you were trying to test it against, but you can make those required changes to try and fix it, you know, bulk it out, increase the thickness or whatever in your primer session, and then rerun it again with that integration. Please do feel free to reach out to us and to get in touch at any of those email addresses that we shared. Thanks again for being here, and I hope you have a good afternoon.